Man, this little thing will scoot.
What's up, guys? I'm J-dubb, and today we're going to be taking my wife's Ninja 400 out on a ride. Guys, this is going to be a fun little trip.
All right, guys, so we are out here on my wife's Ninja 400, and this is really one of my first rides on this bike. And so far, I really like it. Compared to my cruiser, this thing is fun. Plenty of power, decent speed. It's a good little bike. I will say, on the Interstate, the only complaint she ever seems to have about it is this is a super lightweight bike, which I'll give it that. It is light and it does get blown around a little bit, but it's not bad. Ergonomics, it's pretty good. I'll give it that. So right now, 40 mile an hour, 5th gear. There we go, 4th gear. It is a little jerky. Compared to my cruiser, this thing it's a really jerky bike. But as a 400, I mean, it's manageable. It doesn't have a lot of power. It's not gonna try to stand up on you or anything. It's pretty forgiving. I've rode bigger sport bikes, but I don't know if I've rode any that are more fun. This thing is a blast. As you can see, she bought this thing new about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now. I think it's been about 2 weeks. And she's already got 1,100 miles on it. So, it has been a fun little bike. We've put a ton of miles on, done a lot of riding here lately. Oh, somebody in the road. Yep, you got to get out of the road, bud. There we go. Watch out for the puppy. Hi, puppy. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Alright. But yeah, like I was saying, got a little bit of the turns up here. Let's see how this thing does. See how it feels. Yeah, this is a bike that I feel like you can just kind of hit a turn with. No problems at all. Yeah, if you're looking for a fun little bike, this very well may just be it. So far, I'm really enjoying this little thing. So one thing I really want to touch on is the ergonomics of this bike. This thing feels great. The clutch takes a little bit of getting used to. It's super easy to squeeze. Like, there's not a whole lot to it. Compared to my cruisers, this thing, the clutch is really soft, I guess is the best way to say it. Is that bad? No, I kind of like it. You're not going to get any fatigue in your hands on it. The seating position, like right now, I'm sitting up. I feel comfortable. This is perfect. I can cruise like this for hours. So if you're looking for a bike as a commuter, man, this might just very well be it. It handles interstate speeds perfect. It takes these back roads just fine. Now we're not really pushing the bike at all. I will show you something. Like right now we're in 5th gear. Let's get these RPMs down a little bit. So if you lug the engine, like, there's nothing. It is dead until it gets to 5,000, then it comes alive. You really feel it in that power band around 5K. So keep that in mind when you're going to be cruising around on it. You're probably going to be right there around that 5,000 mark, which is going to keep you in your power band. But the display, I mean, look at that display, guys. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful display. I did put the cell phone holder on it, but like I was saying, I did put the phone charger in there. That came out really good. It was super simple to do. If you're scared of doing it, don't be. Do not pay someone to do that. I think it cost me 20 bucks for the relay, and I already had that plug because I was going to put it on my boat and I never did. But I don't know, maybe another 5 for that plug and then a little bit of wire. And if you're going to do it, make sure you put marine grease on all of your electrical connections. The electronic marine grease, just in case this thing gets out in the rain. I mean, you ride a bike, you're going to get stuck in the rain eventually. It's just bound and determined to happen. But I really like the ergonomics of this bike. It feels good. Me and my wife, we went last night and rode almost 3 hours. Rode an hour and a half down, an hour and a half back to go to dinner, and she never complained once. The bike kept up great on the highway, which we were running between 55 and 60 the whole way. Bike did good. On the interstate, I will say that she does complain a little bit if we have to pass someone going uphill, that the bike could use a little more power. That being said, it does pass. It does great. She's never once come close to being an accident because of it not having a lot of power, but you do start running out of power when you get up there closer to that 75 mark. So keep that in mind. But for a flicky little bike, I mean, this thing is just so much fun. Like that turn, bam, fun. Your side of the road, sir. But this has been an awesome little bike. Like, we've really enjoyed it. Like I said, this was really my first time riding it. I rode it the day she bought it, just took it up the road, did like a 1 mile loop on it, and the bike did good. I just want to make sure nothing fell off on it for her. And she's been riding ever since. But so far, I'm really liking this thing. I'd love to do a more in-depth interview, or a more in-depth thing for y'all. I mean, it is comfortable. Like right now, I'm sitting all the way back. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm comfy. The seat isn't necessarily the softest. That being said, I mean, I just come off my cruiser, which is an incredibly comfortable seat. How are y'all doing? Oh, there's a jet ski. But like I was saying, if I was gonna pick a bike to commute on, man, this would probably be it. This is fun, super fun for in town. Now, would I want to travel all interstate for an hour and a half? Probably not. It's gonna be a long ride on it. It really is. It's not as comfortable as my cruisers, but it is fun. I do like the seating position, that it's not all hunched over. I mean, you can get hunched over, like here we go. Yeah, I mean, you can get in a tuck position and do just fine. But I like more the upright seating position. All your switches and all that stuff, man, just quality. Feels great. Yeah, if you're looking at getting the Ninja 400 as your first bike, or you just want something good on gas, I think you'd be really hard pressed to find something better. I weigh a little over 220 pounds, and I mean, this bike's carrying me with no issues. Up this hill, 5th gear, no problems at all. Here we are, we're going up a really steep hill and just fine. I'm not having to run the guts out of it to get up to speed. It's doing perfect. Now, I am slowing down a little bit because there's a lot of deer up here, and we're getting kind of late in the afternoon. Not looking at kissing one of them. But as of comfort, oh man, this thing is incredibly comfortable. I know I probably sound like I'm repeating myself, but there's not a lot to say. Oh, there's where that windstorm came through. I see a lot of people complaining about the mirrors. Guys, I have no issues with the mirrors. I mean, look at them. They're not vibrating. You can see everything in them. I can see behind me just fine. Right now, I can see my shoulder really well in that one. Woo! Yeah, that windstorm yesterday really tore up some stuff. But like, I see people complain about that, and I don't get it. Complaint I do have, I know she was complaining about it yesterday, and it kind of sucked, but the headlights. I feel like the headlights are not angled up far enough where they should be. That might just be something I can easily fix. I'm not sure. But that is a complaint I have. Are the headlights bright? Incredibly bright. I do like how you have the display right here. As you can see, we got our headlight, turn signal. Like, I love the display. I really wish my bike had a more up-to-date display, but hey, it is what it is. My bike's a lot older than this one. I was thinking about maybe when she wants to upgrade, selling or trading this one in, but I might just keep this one and make this my rider. I'm not normally a crotch rocket person, but I could get behind this one. I like how lightweight the bike is. Yep. I don't think she's going to be able to get rid of this one. Alright, so here's a turn that I know gets a lot of people. Slow speed maneuvers, we'll see how this bike does. Oh yeah, feels good. There's the lake, and here's the abyss. I don't know if y'all guys will be able to see that, but there's the abyss. Oh yeah. Whoa, Mr. Pontoon Boat. And up the hill we go. Yeah, if you're worried about the power, guys, don't worry about it. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about numbers that much, but if I remember right, I think this bike has 45 horsepower and whatever. If it's not, I'll put it down there below what the actual specs are. I forget what the torque is, 23 foot-pounds of torque or something. The numbers don't sound impressive, they really don't, but the bike feels impressive. I think it's like a 350-pound bike. I really don't know the specs off the top of my head. I look at so much stuff during the day, but the feel of the bike, I don't know how to explain that to you, that it is a really good feeling bike. And it does everything that you want it to do. Like these back roads, no issues at all with it. Like I have no problems. Look at all this debris. Woo! If you're on the fence about getting it, go ahead, get the bike. Don't be worried about it. I don't think this is a bike you're going to outgrow. I've been riding since 2000 and I think 2014 is when I bought my motorcycle. Before then I'd rode a ton of dirt bikes, and I'm having a blast on this bike. I would ride this every day. Would I do a cross-country tour on it? Probably not. Is it hurting my back? No, not really. It's kind of hurting me in other areas, but not my back. These grips, I saw where people were complaining about those. I don't really see a problem with it. Let's do a loop. Let's do a loop. There you go. There's Mr. America. Hello. The lake is really up right now. Alright, back to the bike. Guys, if you watch my other channel, you'll know this is the lake we do a lot of fishing stuff on. I go camping, fishing, hunting, a bunch of different things. If you want to check me out, I'll go ahead. I'll throw a link up here that you can click on, go right to my other channel. Appreciate the support. Now, let's get back to this motorcycle. First gear is incredibly torquey, but that being said, it's not going to stand up on you. Like, that was full throttle. The bike's nowhere near standing up on you. So this is a perfect beginner bike for someone who's afraid of it, which I'm not gonna lie to you, you should have a healthy fear of your bike. You should always respect it because it can hurt you, but I think this bike is perfect for the beginner rider. Anyone who's looking for just something fun to go play with. Alright, we'll get up here, I'll ride up, and we'll do a quick look at it. I'll get off the bike, show you some things that I like, some things that I don't, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's some quick things about the Kawasaki Ninja. Guys, I really hope you can hear me. The wind is kind of blowing today, but it's a good looking bike. She got it in the blue paint. I really like it.
It's a good looking little bike. If you missed it, we did do an oil change video on it. I'll put it up right here for you so you can check it out. But so far, really liking it. Let me show you some of the features that I really like about it. One, guys, this seat, it's fairly comfortable. So I got y'all on super view. Hope y'all can see it, but the ergonomics on this bike are awesome. I will say, if you're a guy, you're gonna have some contact in this area, which after a while kind of gets old, but you've got plenty of room to scoot back and give yourself some extra room. So here's your display. This thing looks great. See, we got 1,118 miles, but your display looks really good. Like, I have no problem with that. Right here, you got your gear indicator, check engine light, neutral light. Right now it's not running. I'm not really sure what this red is. I think it's just a warning light. Could be wrong. Your temperature, gas. Let's see. You got gas up here, temperature, clock, gear selector, and your average miles per gallon. 61.5. You can't beat that. But let's start this thing up and let y'all kind of hear it. Hopefully the wind don't mess this up. But it's not real impressive, the sound. But let's fire it up real quick. Not a terrible sounding little bike. It does everything it's supposed to do. If you're looking for an awesome bike for a daily commuter or a beginner bike, I think this might be it. Super low maintenance on it. Really, all you gotta do is your oil, keep your chain tight and lubed. I mean, that's really it. Tires, brakes, you know, there's not a whole lot to these bikes. Let's get on it, do some more riding, and I'll tell you some other things I like. So we got our helmet back on. Let's go ahead and start this bike up again. All right, watch the display. This bike's like every other bike. See how I've got it in gear right now? We're in first gear. If I put the kickstand down, kills the bike. Every bike has that now. Just one thing that I haven't seen anybody talk about that. If you're new to bikes, maybe you don't know that they all have that. But this thing, I mean, tight maneuvers. It's a good little bike. I like it. And that first gear is super torquey and jumpy. But yeah, I mean, gets right up and goes. Like I said earlier, I'm 220 pounds and I have no issues. This bike just, I mean, it runs awesome. It runs great. No problems at all with it. Now we're going uphill right here, but like I said earlier, we're in our power band. We're at like 5,500 RPMs, and if we want, it just goes. But if it drops below that 55, you see it's kind of sick, and then it comes alive. So it definitely likes to be revved a little higher, which is really fun. If you haven't rode a sport bike, guys, go ahead and get you one. They're a blast. I know a lot of people give them hate, a lot of people love them. There's a reason people love them. They are super fun. This bike would be really easily to get a ticket on in a lot of places, even on the interstate. If you wanted to go 100 miles an hour, it will do it. This bike will do every bit of 100. There's tons of videos on YouTube of people doing it. I'm not one of those people. I don't like to go fast. I just like to play around and have some fun. I like to accelerate fast and just have a good time. And honestly, I really enjoy this bike. Seating position, like I said before, awesome. If you're looking for a daily commuter or a beginner bike for someone, and I don't want to be misogynistic, I guess, and say, hey, this is a woman's bike, because it's not a woman's bike at all. This bike will fit a woman, a man, anyone, just perfect. And me, with years of riding under my belt, I would feel confident taking this thing out and going out and, you know, hanging out with some buddies of mine. If you're looking for a track day bike, hey, are you going to get passed by other bikes? Maybe. But then again, being on the track is more about the rider than it is the machine. The machine helps,
and the machine can make a bad rider look like a good rider, but you really got to get your fundamentals down, guys. You're gonna go out here and play with the big boys. You better know what you're doing. Now, I will say there are deals to be had with these bikes out there still. Do not go out there and buy one for over MSRP. We bought this one. This is the non-ABS version of this bike. We were out the door for $4,800. I think MSRP on this bike is $5,300. I'm not 100% sure. I'll put it down here in the bottom of the video what it is, but I think it's $5,300. So we got a pretty good deal. They're hard to find. We called just about every dealership in the state of Virginia before I finally found this one, and it was a 3.5-hour drive to go pick it up. The place was super awesome. Shout out to I forget what they were called now. Shout out to Motor Member, guys. Awesome customer service. They're up there in Manassas, Virginia. If you're looking for a bike, go ahead, tell them that J-dubb sent you. They have no idea who I am, but they were a good group of guys. I would totally, I told my wife, I said, if we go to buy another motorcycle, I'll go up there and call them first. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll kind of zoom in on it. But right here, you got this little this little triangle thing that comes up, 3 circles. I've seen a lot of people talk about that. That's your eco. That lets you know that the machine is running efficiently right now. Oh, what do we got here? You stay right where you're at, bud. Hold on. I'm not sure what he was doing. I thought he was waving me down like he wanted something, but like I was saying, that just means the bike's running efficiently. Like right now we're cruising 38 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour. The bike's running really efficiently. So that's what that is. Guys, if there's anything y'all want to know about this bike, go ahead, put it in the comments down below. I answer every comment. If I don't answer you, it's just because I didn't see you. I will eventually get to it. Like I said, I have another channel that I try to focus on more, but I'm trying to bring some bike content to this one. I really enjoy riding now that my wife rides. We've got a few different machines we can do. I can show you some different things. I love to work on stuff. Now, it does ride a little rough. Some of the things that you're not going to get, where if you got a more advanced sport bike, you don't have adjustable shocks, you don't have any of that stuff. You have, I guess these are called handlebars. They kind of look like clip-ons to me, but some people call them handlebars. They're not real aggressive. They're not real low. Like, you're set back really well. The bike is balanced super well. I don't know. I really enjoy this little bike. It does take a little bit to getting used to it if you're coming from a cruiser. To think, like right now, my cruiser would be screaming at me. This thing is, I mean, that's where it likes to be. That's in a full upright position, and I mean, this bike has no problem speeding up at all. I mean, there it is. There's 60 mile an hour, no problems at all. Bike handles it just fine. It's got more if I wanted it. This is an awesome cruising little bike. If you're looking for a great little beginner bike, this is it. I rode the Yamaha R3 for my wife. We were not impressed by that bike at all. This one I have been extremely impressed with. Now, I would like to take y'all out on a day where it's, you know, it's dark, show y'all some of the different things that we like, some of the things we don't. One of the biggest complaints that I have is the headlights. I'm thinking that I can just go ahead and adjust that, and that'll fix the headlight issue. But this is a great looking little bike. It rides good, it runs awesome. If you're looking for a bike that like two up, like you and your girlfriend, I'm probably going to steer you away from this one. Just because I think it's going to be a lot of weight.
Not calling your girlfriend fat or anything, but I think it's gonna be a lot of extra weight on this bike. If you're a bigger guy, you know, 300, 400 pounds, I'm gonna probably steer you away from this bike. Now, if you're an average sized person, like, I don't know, 230 to 100 pounds to 230 pounds, let's go with that. I'm gonna say this bike is perfect for you. It's gonna do everything you're ever gonna want it to do. It's gonna go everywhere you want it to go. If you wanted to take this thing and drive plumb across your state, I mean, you could do it. Does it like the interstate? Yeah, it does. It loves the interstate. It eats the interstate alive. This has been a perfect little all-around bike, and it rides how can I put this? It rides good for what it is. Now, like I said, I'm used to a cruiser. That thing is awesome. The ride is great. This one, the ride's a little stiff in the rear. Now, you do have adjustable shocks that you can adjust the preload, stuff like that on it, which we haven't played with, and I honestly don't know where it's set. I'm assuming it's going to be set on its softest position. I did see people talking about how this bike has a small rear tire and it doesn't corner as well and stuff like that, and that very well may be. But if you're looking for a bike that you can build and take to the track that's cheap, I mean, you could put a bigger tire on it. Probably gonna have to give up some acceleration, but for what this bike is, I mean, I've got no problems. My wife has rode it in the rain, and it doesn't break traction near as bad as my cruiser does. My cruiser will break traction really easily. This one doesn't. It just kind of sticks to the road. I don't know if it's just better tires or what it is, but I really like this little bike. She loves it. I think eventually y'all are going to see this bike being all pink, because she's already looking for someone who can wrap it and put a pink wrap all the way around it. So if you're in Virginia and you do wraps, hey, hit me up. We're looking for someone to turn this bike into a little pink machine for her. And we don't want to paint it, because if we ever do decide to sell it, it's a lot easier to sell a blue bike than it is a pink bike. But I mean, this thing just cruises. And you don't even really hear the motor. I know if you're into sport bikes, you really want to be able to hear the motor, but you don't really hear it on this one, which I kind of like. I'm not a big Harley Davidson guy that likes my bikes real loud and all that stuff. Like, I just like to cruise. I like to ride. I've got a loud bike, and after a while on a road trip, it gets annoying. It's obnoxious. I wear earplugs on it, which I wear earplugs when I ride all the time anyway, because the wind is deafening. But I definitely do it on this one, or on my red bike. But this one is so quiet. Oh, there's a cardinal. He didn't make it. Alright, let's head on up the road. Not sure if y'all could hear it real well when I wound it up. I tried to keep it going slow and just wind it up so you kind of hear what it sounds like under load. This is a good sounding little bike. And I'm not sure how they did the intake, but you get like a lot of that intake sucking noise, which I really like. So far, I don't think we've done anything to the bike except put a cell phone holder on it, and we put the plug on there. Other than that, this bike is 100% bone stock, and I love it. She likes it. We're happy with it. I don't know what else I can say about it. If you're looking for a good beginner bike, I mean, I keep coming back to that. This is a good beginner bike, but it also is a good commuter bike, because you're not hunched over. If you could put a set of bags on the back, that would be awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. Go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Hit that bell notification button so you'll be aware of every video we put out. And like always, guys, take someone outdoors.